Hello, I'm Dr. Jody Reed. In this series, we explore the brain, behavior, and mental health. In this lecture, we will examine cerebral plasticity in the adult human brain. These studies show that the human brain can reorganize in response to injury, learning, and experience. This has important implications for rehabilitation, perception, and behavior. Cerebral plasticity in humans has been demonstrated using modern imaging techniques. These include functional MRI, PET scans, magnetic source imaging. These tools allow us to observe changes in brain activity and organization in living individuals. They show that cortical regions can change their function and representation over time. This confirmed that plasticity is not limited to animals. It is a fundamental property of the human brain. One of the most striking examples of plasticity comes from patients who have lost a limb. After amputation, some individuals experience phantom limb sensations or even pain. Studies have shown that this is linked to cortical reorganization. The area of the brain that once represented the missing limb does not remain inactive. Instead, neighboring regions expand into that area. For example, facial stimulation may activate the region that previously represented the hand. This shift in cortical representation is associated with the intensity of phantom limb pain. This demonstrates that perception is not only determined by the body, but also by the organization of the brain. Plasticity is also seen in learning. For example, individuals who learn to play musical instruments show changes in the motor and sensory cortex. In string instrument players, the cortical representation of the fingers used for playing becomes larger. The degree of this expansion is related to the amount of practice, the age at which training began. This shows that repeated use of specific body parts leads to expansion of their cortical representation. The brain allocates more resources to functions that are used more frequently. Plasticity is also critical in recovery after brain injury. In patients recovering from stroke, areas of the brain can reorganize to take over lost functions. Studies using techniques such as transcranial magnetic stimulation, or TMS, have shown that motor areas can shift. New regions can become active. Neural excitability can increase in affected regions. Rehabilitation therapies that involve repeated movement and training can enhance this process. This leads to improved motor function and recovery. Even in chronic conditions, the brain retains some ability to reorganize. One of the key principles of plasticity is that it is activity dependent. The brain changes in response to use. When a function is used repeatedly, its cortical representation expands. When input is lost, neighboring areas may take over. When training is applied consistently, the brain reorganizes to support improved performance. This means that plasticity is shaped by behavior, experience, and environment. Research in humans has identified several general principles of cortical plasticity. Loss of input allows neighboring regions to expand. Increased use strengthens cortical representation. Training improves function through reorganization. Repeated practice over time is essential. Brain changes reflect behavioral relevance. These principles show that plasticity is structured and purposeful, not random. Cerebral plasticity explains many important clinical phenomena. It explains phantom limb pain. It explains recovery after stroke. It explains how training improves function. It also explains why rehabilitation must be repetitive and targeted. Plasticity shows that even after injury, the brain has the ability to adapt. However, it also shows that maladaptive changes can occur, such as persistent pain or abnormal perception. The adult human brain is not fixed. It is dynamic, adaptable, and capable of reorganization. Cerebral plasticity allows the brain to respond to experience, injury, and learning. It is one of the most important principles in neuroscience. Understanding plasticity helps us understand recovery, behavior, and the potential for change. If you're finding these lectures helpful, please like and subscribe to Read Matrix and share your thoughts or questions in the comments section.